So, how important is sleep to help your insulin sensitivity? Well, it's very important, and a number of studies demonstrate how this is true. We don't understand all the mechanisms of action perfectly. Of course, we never probably will. However, there does seem to be a very strong correlation between someone's ability to preserve insulin sensitivity and even manage a healthy body composition when they get adequate sleep. A number of studies have demonstrated that some people, all they have to do is add a few hours or a couple hours of sleep to their evening, and they actually begin to lose weight from that alone because they're actually not eating too much food necessarily. The issue is actually that they're getting too little sleep, and I've seen this affect people's insulin levels. I've seen in numerous instances where someone is seeing their fasted insulin levels go from the 120s, 130s down to below 100 where we like it, purely based on getting more sleep. Another aspect of this is that someone who is more well rested will be more capable of being disciplined and consistent. And of course, consistency is king when it comes to getting the results that we're looking for. So, if you're looking at the things to help move the needle and help you become healthier and everything else, if you're not getting sleep, you're kind of chasing your tail. You can eat the best diet, you can do all the best things, but these are ultimately sort of trying to compensate for not getting adequate sleep. And getting adequate sleep can be difficult for some of us. I'm not putting that down, but for those of you that get good sleep, go to bed at that consistent time, wake up at a consistent time. That's very important. Getting, say, 7 or 8 hours of sleep regularly, but it's starting at different times and ending at different times, and it's dynamic, is not going to do you as much good. The body likes a regular circadian rhythm, which means going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time. If you want to sleep in on the weekends a little bit, that's fine. Just try to go to bed at the same time, and then you can catch up by going a little bit longer. But what we don't want is to have those nights turn into late nights that turn into further more and more sleep, so that you start the week and your circadian rhythm is disrupted, and then that's part of what can make Mondays even harder than they already have to be. As far as recommendations, I would say 7 hours of sleep for almost everyone is a minimum, going up to 8 or 9 hours, depending on who you are. This does vary from person to person, and there are some outliers who appear to only need even like 4 hours of sleep, and they're totally fine, and that's all the sleep that's needed. This is usually genetic, and usually, if you're one of these people, you know who you are because you had a father or mother who was the same, or something along those lines, and you sort of inherited this, which is great for you because you get more time. A lot of people think that they don't need that much sleep because they're forcing themselves, and you sort of become accustomed to not being fully recovered, not being fully rested all the time. I don't recommend doing this. If you think this is you, maybe it actually is you, but be sure you're evaluating this carefully if you're the only one in your family who's ever been this way, and trying to like be more productive by not sleeping, especially for any long duration of time, is ultimately going to cause your health to suffer and your performance. If you're doing this for work or business, then ultimately you're probably chasing your tail because you're going to become less and less productive. Studies have even shown that people who work overtime, once you go past about 2 weeks of working 60 hours a week, your productivity declines. A great study of this was done actually on coders a while ago because their outputs are very measurable. The quality of their outputs is very measurable and documentable. And they found that basically after 2 weeks of working overtime, their productivity fell to such a degree that they're actually less productive working 60 hours a week than 40 hours a week. You can do this again for a short time, but after about 2 weeks, productivity fell off to the point that, like, once you go past that, you're actually becoming less and less productive. You're having more errors in your work. And so you're actually becoming less and less productive and chasing your tail. So don't always think that you're getting more done by staying up late. You do actually get less done typically. And sometimes there are seasons of life where you have to. I get it. I'm not putting that down. We all have realities that we have to deal with. I've done that for my businesses, and it does happen. But as much as it's incumbent upon you, be sure to protect that time because that's going to protect your health. It's going to protect your insulin sensitivity. It's going to protect your cognition and a whole bunch of other restorative processes. And if you're training, it's going to help with your recovery in the gym. You're not going to recover well and get the body composition changes you want if you're always under rested and under recovered. If this is a chronic problem, you're going to see issues with insulin sensitivity, with hormone production. You're going to be sore. You're not going to make the progress you want, and your body composition will also suffer. And this can lead toward long-term complications. Even dementia has been sometimes correlated to a lack of sleep, and certainly type 2 diabetes. So be sure that you get the adequate sleep, go to bed at a consistent time. Usually for most people, this is going to be go to bed between 9 and 10 and wake up around 6 o'clock, give or take, and you'll generally be good to go. But don't sleep on sleep. Get what you can, and if you're looking for help, with how to design, a lifestyle that's effective, and maybe even a morning routine that supports getting more productive during the day, reach out to someone from the team, and we'll be happy to help. See you guys later.